So driving for DoorDash right around 5 p.m. here in the Pittsburgh area, I mean, do I want to take this order? $13 for 6 miles at a place that really doesn't start until they get there, Five Guys. Now, it's pretty good, right? 13 bucks for 6 miles. It's $2 plus per mile, but it's right at 5 p.m. And I know the farther and farther I go, the more I'm going to run into rush hour traffic. But there's not much I can do, right? When it's 5 p.m., I'm not going to get all short runs for high paying offers. Actually, speaking of, you can see this is a high paying offer denoted by that diamond icon. But yeah, I accepted it. So driving for DoorDash in 2023, how's it going to be? And actually, I just remembered, there's no peak pay right now, but peak pay starts in 30 minutes. So technically, it should get better. But will it get slowed down by the rush hour traffic? Let's find out. So this is something I definitely mentioned before, is driving during rush hour. And I'll tell you, I had the same thing slammed in San Diego. You can imagine when I was driving out there. That is why I try to avoid the highways. More so in San Diego. Here in Pittsburgh, it's not too bad, just depending on which way you're going, obviously. But this one, I mean, I can see just cars everywhere. It makes sense, right? It's rush hour. It's right after 5 now. So Google Maps says 26 minutes for 5.5 miles of driving here. It's just something you're gonna have to contend with. There's no real way around rush hour, unless obviously you can plan back roads and you know your marketplace like that. All right, done. Super seamless, and it was just the traffic. That's the only thing. So now I need to get into a busy zone because I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I could stay here, but I'm gonna have to drive. What do we get? 6 points. What is it? $6.85, 3.5 miles. I'll take that. Now pretend I didn't get that order right. Again, I need to get into a busy zone, so I was just gonna drive back into the area that I was familiar with. But look at this. I just bumped into a different zone on this delivery, and DoorDash said, well, hey, perfect. This new zone you just finished in, we anticipate it's gonna be busier, so would you like to switch zones? Because your entire city is broken down into different sub-zones. Now, this practice of switching zones during your dash is what I've always called the shift audible. So you're welcome, DoorDash, adding the shift audible in 2023, whenever they added it. But here's the thing, should you do it? I say no, at least in my case here, because consider this, look how big this new zone is. I know I can dash anywhere in that entire new red zone, but I don't want to. It's gonna pull me further and further away from home. The only time, listen to this, I would do that shift audible and switch from my current zone into a different zone is A, if there's crazy good peak pay and you think you'll actually get orders on the peak pay. B, if you did happen to get pulled away, maybe you're in your work zone, where you work and you dash after work, and then that zone's where you live, so there's going to be next to no commuting miles home. Number 3 is if the actual numbers make sense. And I also know that adjacent zone, it's not as dense as the city center, so there's that too. It's more rural, there's more neighborhoods, it's farther spread out, and generally for those that are driving in suburbs, I almost guarantee you're gonna have maybe a lower dollars to mile ratio because you just have to drive further. But I accepted that Taco Bell order, and that is what we call a ping pong order request. I want to finish and then boom, immediately get another order because I'm in an area that's really dense with restaurants, what we call a power strip. If you're new to food delivery, or if you just think something's missing, you don't know the fundamentals, enroll in our course, Mastering Delivery. It goes over everything, customers, positioning, setting up your vehicle, yourdrivermike.com/delivery. And we actually just added new resources on there as well, including our starter guide. So check it out at yourdrivermike.com. See, I just got almost another repeat high paying order, $17.50. It says, including tips. Okay, that's really important to know. Including tips, 8.5 miles. It's a good dollars to mile ratio. That smoothie place is right up here, but it's taking me to Oakmont. There's enough out there, but I don't know. I just don't feel like the ROI to stay in Oakmont, and I could just come back, but I just came back from a farther order. I'm gonna let that one go. I don't feel like you'd be in the wrong for taking that, but let me know. Okay, I got $8.75 for McDonald's, 3.7 miles. It's another high paying order, but Should I take it? I don't like that McDonald's. I never have. For long drive-thrus. Oh boy. Should I take it? Should I risk it? You know what? No, I'm not gonna risk it. It's 6:20 p.m. It is right in the middle of the dinner rush. I bet, and there's a ton of restaurants right around here, I'm gonna get another order in instantly, basically. So let's decline this one and see what I get, because I'm betting it's gonna be another high-paying order. I'm thinking we'll get something pretty instantly. I'm the heart of like everything right now. Come on, DoorDash, don't make me look silly. 15 seconds. I feel like we're gonna get something. I know, Mike, you said 20 seconds, 10 seconds. And 5, come on, DoorDash, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I didn't get anything instantly, but I'll show you the next order here. It shouldn't be too long. Hey, you know what I just noticed on that tropical smoothie order to Oakmont? Look at this. When I first got it, $17.50 for 8.5 miles. And they sent it again, like 2 minutes later. That was probably like a little bit less than 2 minutes later. $17.25, and it's 8.3 miles. I don't think it's a coincidence. It's got to be the same order. It is the same order, but why is it actually less money? Typically, if no one's accepting these orders and they got to send it to you again, you're going to get more money. It's a quarter less. Look at the distance. It's 8.5 miles. And then DoorDash is like, oh, you're a little closer. You're 8.3 miles now. So we're going to pay you a little bit less, because it just comes down to like, basically, yeah, the dollars to mile. They're basically doing the same thing here. So they're saying like, oh, you're a little closer. You know, it's more convenient for you. So they paid me slightly less. Interesting. All right, so the mic died, so bear with me here. But I had something that happened that I guarantee is going to happen to you. Guarantee it. So, get to the address. It is a hand it to me, and I ring the doorbell. I can hear it ring inside, and I'm waiting, and nothing. So I'm ringing again. I can hear it ring inside. Nothing. So at the bottom of your drop-off or handoffs, it says, I cannot hand it off to customer. And it starts a sequence of like 5 minutes. We gotta wait there trying to reach this customer. And it says call or text. I immediately do one of them. So I text the customer. I said, hey, it's Mike with DoorDash. I'm out front. So as I'm standing there, the counter's like 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. It's taking forever. I just want to make this drop and get on to my next order. And then, out of nowhere, the front door opens. This girl opens the door and looks at me kind of like, oddly. I said, hey, got your delivery. And she's like, oh, thank you. Like, wasn't expecting me to be there. That's always been a huge problem with these hand-it-to-me deliveries. If you don't want it handed to you, then the default should be contactless. Am I wrong? Like, the default is what? Whatever they last used or something? But if the default is handed to me, these companies need to change the default to contactless, because that's what most everyone wants. If you want it handed to me, then click on hand it to me or save preferences. If you do save preferences, then check in with the customer every 15, 20 orders. Just have a prompt on the screen that says, you selected hand it to me, you selected contactless. Please confirm, would you like us to save these changes for the next 30 days, 60 days? Because that happens all the time. They look at you like, what are you doing out here? And I mean, they don't know, because it's marked handed to me. And I'm all done and made a lot of money. Everything was great. Nothing went wrong. And I think we're all done here. Don't need to see any other numbers. Think we're good, right? All right, fine. I'll show you the numbers, but it's not going to be good. It is 5 until 7:30. Gross, $26.14. Hourly, $10.46. $10.40. I didn't get anything. I was waiting. For 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. I had that one run that I wanted to come back in the zone, combined with a little bit of rush hour. I didn't want to do the shift Audible because I felt like I would get pulled even further away. I had, I had 2 hours-ish on peak pay. I think the peak pay was 5:30 until 7:30. but that was only $1 as well. Only 3 deliveries completed, which is crazy. That is, listen folks, I mean, if you use our earnings tracking spreadsheet at yourdrivermight.com, you want to know that number one, you're doing 2 to 4 deliveries per hour, depending on what marketplace, if you're in the city, you know, rural, etc., traffic, whatnot. So 2 to 3 per hour. I did 3 in 2.5 hours. I got 3 deliveries, and combined with that, I think statistically this is a lower average tip amount as well. $3.21. I want you to be at around $4, $5. Usually that's what I get, $4 to $5 per tipping order. So DoorDash was not busy today. It had only $1 peak pay. Thankfully it had something, but it had $1 peak pay. Again, I wasn't getting any orders. I had the one that was farther away, and customers didn't tip as much on average. And with that, more driving, I mean, 18.2 business miles, 144 per mile paid out. That is not stellar either. Our channel goal is 175. Deduction there, $11.92. Now, what does this mean? Okay, before you leave this video, what does this mean? Keep in mind, this is one shift on one day on a Thursday in one marketplace here in Pittsburgh. And I've been looking at peak pay here in Pittsburgh, and it's been pretty consistent. It's been more than $1. So tomorrow, Friday, there's what, $2 peak pay, but I'm anticipating Thursdays, I would have liked Thursday to have been more busy, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's usually when we assume it's going to be the busiest. So nowhere near enough for a verdict. I don't want you to think there's a verdict from this one short shift. So stay tuned, because I have a lot of other shifts here, and of course, comparing most every single side hustle so you can make more money.